So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom, and a quick update on some of the painting. So I showed in my last video the 28mm Hungarian Second World War Cavalry Kickstarters from Great Escape Games in state of undress, and I've got them finished off, so I'm really pleased with that. So that's the main thing I've worked through this last few days. So this is the officer group. Well, the officer, you have within the Kickstarter you had the option to buy the officer for the cavalry, basically one dismounted and one mounted in the pack, and I think they've come out quite nicely. Quite pleased with them. I can't remember, somebody mentioned on the other video how much character these Great Escape game figures have, and they do, they really do. They look at, I was a bit critical about their lower halves, looked a bit like they've got a bit of had a bit too much Christmas spirit, but I actually think they come out really nicely once you paint them up. So, you know, what do I know? It's clear the sculptor knows best. So that's the officers. As well as the officers and the cavalry, I did buy the medium machine gun option. Again, this was an additional package. I think, I don't know if it's a stretch goal or what, but anyway, it was one of the different offerings you had on the Kickstarter, and I just thought it'd be useful. And you know, I've got a medium machine gun with my late war Hungarians, which I put on the rubble bases, and I wanted something, as I said before, I want to have an army that I can play sort of earlier war Hungarians. If it ever turns up, I've got another Kickstarter due to arrive, which I plan to turn into Hungarian earlier war, because it's not really early war, earlier war figures, and this will form part of that regiment. So really pleased with these. These are, again, really nice figures. Only one criticism I have is they have extremely large bases, very chunky bases, which is a little bit harder to hide with the Luke's APS, but I've got some of these bricks. These were, there you go, bag of bricks from Charlie Foxtrot Models. A whole load of them here, 500 of them, and I just dotted a few of those around the base just to give a bit of variety, also conceal some of those chunky bases that there are. So I'm really quite pleased with how that came out. So finally, cavalry was what we went for in the Kickstart, and cavalry is what we got. So this is the unit of 10 cavalry that I bought through the Kickstarter. There's a guy with an LMG who I can't immediately find. There he is there. This guy has an LMG. And the rest have rifles. There's a guy, a trumpeter here. This was the command pack, so I had the trumpeter in it. There's a couple of officery types, sergeanty types, but they're really nice figures. They came out beautifully. Really pleased with the animation on them. Even the horses were not that bad to do. I used contrast paints on the horses, and that definitely is the way to go about it. It makes life so much easier, and I just think they've come out. I'm really pleased with the result. You know, for my wargame table standard figures, I think they've come out beautifully. So yeah, that is the Hungarians done until this amazing Kickstarter from Dog Tag Games. If it ever turns up, I'll be amazed, but if it does, then I've got some, this will provide part of the early war Hungarians. So it seems to have been cavalry all the way for me just lately, so I've also started to finish off the other 6 of these Warlord plastics, English Civil War Royalist cavalry. I showed you the 6 I did already. This was the standard group for the other one. Yeah, bought the standard, put them on. So I'm quite pleased with how they came out. I need to crack on with my English Civil War project. So I'm going to finish off those 6 cavalry. The other thing I bought over Christmas, which I couldn't remember before Christmas, was the these Foundry figures. I bought a set of 12 American War of Independence 28mm cavalry, I'm going to do these up as the third, I think it's the third Continental Cavalry, Light Dragoon Cavalry, who largely were white uniforms with blue, pale blue sort of edging, because I thought they'd look really cool and they would look nice compared to the other cavalry on my, other figures on my tabletop. I haven't got any more American War of Independence cavalry, only infantry. So this would form my first unit of cavalry. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting them finished, and then I do need to crack on with some more of the foot sloggers, American War of Independence foot sloggers. These are these Brigade Games figures, which are so fantastic. So plenty of work to be done as always. Not a huge amount completed in the last few days, but I've been busy at work, getting back to work after Christmas break. I think everybody struggles, don't they, the first few days, getting back into the routine of it all. But paints are back out, done a bit, and quite pleased with the results with the Hungarians for sure. And it'd be nice to get these English Civil War figures finished and then move on to the American War of Independence figures and get some of those done. And then I did find, I was clearing out my garage, and I found another stash of English Civil War pikemen and musketeers that are partially painted, and I haven't really explored how partially painted they are, whether I'm going to have to strip them or just spray over them, or whether I can actually just sort of continue from where they left off. But I don't even remember buying them, so they were bought a long time ago, but they look pretty good. So yeah, that's to come. So anyway, hope your projects are going well, hope 2020 is going well. Already 2 weeks into January, fantastic. And thanks for subscribing. Anybody who hasn't subscribed, click that subscribe button, please, please, please. Nearly up to the 500. Really love to get that in the next few weeks. That would be fantastic. And if you do, click the bell to see when I post videos up on the channel, and keep up with the good work. Really great to see all the other people's videos and see what they're working on. As we've all said, I think it's a bit of an inspiration when you see other people working on things. You go, ah, yeah, I really ought to get working on that too. Certainly works for me, and hopefully this video help, or these videos I do help for your projects too. So this is Dom signing out. Have good fun. See you soon.